Millie I mean, 11 has that intense stare, that look. Was that something that you had before 11? I'm kind of wondering, could you just bring that out if your parents asked you to do like chores or something that you didn't want to?
I mean, that's really a question to ask the Duffer Brothers and Sean, because I don't know. Like, I know that sounds really funny, but like, I don't think I made a face. I just did it.
I remember
just
at Benny's Diner, when you stopped the fan, we played around with different levels of
No, but we developed it as soon as we buzzed your hair. We said, do the look. Give some look. Remember, you did it.
Do the look.
Because it transformed you. Like, it transformed you. When you
But I also remember from Millie's callback where she did a great reading. I feel like it might have been a scene with you, Finn. I can't remember. But at the very end of her audition, she kind of lowered her chin and did what would become the look. And I remember being in that room and going, oh, there's something to this girl. There's something to this girl that no one's going to see coming.
Yeah, because I think we were doing that. We were doing like the wig. Was it the wig scenes?
Yeah, she was putting on the wig for the first time.
Yeah, and those are like dummy sides. And then she did something at the end. I don't remember what she did, but yeah,
Did I put like a sweater on my head?
Yeah.
Crazy. I put a sweater on my head, and then like
Say it like that?
the Duffers were like, that's good. Keep that. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, Mike. And then I don't know really what happened.
I have a
It was all
sweater on my
black
head.
because the next day I got the job.
Mike,
and I
check
was
this
like,
out.
okay.
Check this
A
out.
sweater on my head.
But you guys knew then. I mean, you say you were playing around with that look. You knew that there was something there because that became just a very iconic.
Yeah. Well, I think, and it was, I mean, with casting 11, especially to find someone who can, there's not much dialogue. And I remember people being like, for these sides, can you write more lines for us? She doesn't have more lines. She needs to be able to communicate all these emotions with just, just her look.
Well, it was
her
weird.
eyes.
We did I think we read, Netflix, you read as many scripts as you can before you start production. So we read the first 6 through with all the cast. And 11 did not pop. Because she's not, you wouldn't know. And we got these notes and we're like, it's going to work. It's going to work. Because you couldn't tell on the script. It was Millie and in close-up. And we knew from the first day we started shooting. And everyone did, I think.
Oh, you guys. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, what they say, I don't know.
So season 1, Christmas of 1983. Season 2, it's gonna revolve around another holiday, Halloween, the following year. 1984.
Great year for movies.
Great year for movies. What? I mean, one of the cool things about season 1, all the little nods you made to various '80s movies. What's in store for season 2?
Well, it's fun for us because we have this group of boys who we believe would be obsessed with these movies. So Ghostbusters plays the biggest role because there's no way they wouldn't be obsessed with that when it came out that summer. And
when
we
did it come out?
love
July of '84.
I think so. I mean, it was a great year. There was Temple of Doom. There's Gremlins. There's Karate Kid. I mean, they don't do movies like this anymore.
That was all in one summer.
One summer.
Yep.
Terminator came out in October. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, if
Can you
were
imagine
that
a year
age,
like that anymore? It's insane. So anyways, yeah. Yeah, we're going to have some fun with it. But I think Ghostbusters makes the big, but it is Halloween, so there's like you get to see, Cobra Kai costumes and, there's fun stuff like that. Little throwaways.
When was Karate Kid?
It was
that
June
summer.
or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing year.
So if the thought about season 1 was, well, is anyone going to watch? Does anyone know about this show? And people know about the show now, so I guess the pressure for season 2 is a little bit different.
Yeah, that's the problem with that's
People are actually going to watch now.
yeah. And everyone working on it is aware of that also. So you try not to let that mess you up.
But I do think everyone was a little, for better or worse, we were harder on ourselves, I think. Other people were harder on themselves and just trying, because we're all aware that we want to there's no point in just redoing it. So the hope is that you can raise the bar and you can do it better. And certainly, at least that's what we tried to do. But yeah, it was a lot of work.
But the best, you want to surround, I don't trust anyone you work with who is always happy with themselves. The best people are always unhappy with their own work. and feel like they can do better. And so that's great. It's like we all got another chance at it. And the people who were really content are like, we're gone. We got rid of them. So and it's same true of actors. You want people who consistently want to improve and think they can do better. I think we could do a lot better in season 1. You know what I mean? Like, because they were asking what they were doing on, like, when it first came out. I mean, we were forced to watch it at friends' houses. It was painful because you just see everything that's wrong with it. So you just want to do better. So that's what we tried to do. So that's what's great about it. Is the fact that people are watching gives you an opportunity to try to go to bat again.
Yeah. And you have one more episode, and you probably had probably had more time to shoot those.
We had yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they're actually, I think, there's one more episode, but also just, I mean, we'll see at the end of the day because they're still editing, but the scripts at least were longer. There are more storylines going on. There's more story this season, and so they're more dense, and so it just took longer to film. And then there is some, there's a little more visual effects component, and so
There's
it
new
took a
characters.
little longer. There's new characters.
But I feel like we're close to setting like a record for scene counts in TV shows.
I think,
I think we hit like 140.
Episode 8 was like 140 or so, which if you work in TV, it's an
It's
140.
stupid.
Like
you
a
shouldn't be-
60-page script with 150 scenes.
Which is unheard of in television because most television
It's unheard of
series
in
will
movies.
have 3-page dialogue scenes. And Stranger Things is kind of built on the brothers' instinct to make it propulsive and to have a lot of smaller scenes.
But there's a reason people don't do it. Like it was not.
it's brutal.
I mean,
brutal.
yeah. So I mean, the thing is though, we write it, and then there's a part of us that's writing it, and we just ignore the directing part of it, and then we have to suffer through trying to pull it off, and it is just painful. You're just trying to pull it off.
Like you write it,
joyful.
and then you know what you want, so then that's what you give it.
You
to
know
your
what you want,
actors.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That
It's not-
painful.
and I feel like that's why Sean can direct so well. Is because
Well, the brothers' vision is so clear in their scripts. I mean, you read their scripts, and I know exactly how they want it to be on the screen. And it's really that vision comes through their voice.
Well, I read a quote where you guys were saying that the season 2 is going to take you a little bit darker place, and I was kind of thinking, well, I mean, this is a show that killed 2 characters in the first 3 episodes of its first season.
Barb
so,
and Benny, right?
Barb and Benny.
Yeah, Barb.
Spoiler alert.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the Game of Thrones thing. I loved. You love. When,
Everyone's thinking Barb now.
Yeah, but when you kill, when they kill characters who aren't supposed to, suddenly you don't feel safe anymore, and then the stakes feel a lot higher, and every
Anything
scene
can
has
happen.
that
That's
much more tension.
Yeah, I remember when we wrote the pilot, the reason we felt so like we really needed to include the Benny thing is because we wanted to clarify in case anyone was confused that this wasn't a show just for kids and that this is not a show where the kids are necessarily safe, because then when I had watched stuff like The Goonies, like I felt like these kids are in danger, like his hand is going in that blender, like it scared me as a child. And
Like Spielberg loves putting children in danger, and like that's his favorite thing to do. And as a kid,
Jaws, Jurassic Park,
yeah,
all of it.
Yeah, he loves putting Jurassic
he gets
Park.
thrown on, he gets shot on that.
He gets
fence.
electrocuted
It's
in
very
the fence.
violent.
Yeah, they almost,
Almost
chop
dies.
off.
Probably should have died.
They almost chop off Corey Feldman's tongue in like the first like 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah, but now everyone treats kids and they go, oh, we can't be doing that anymore. It's like let's put kids.
Well,
back
and
in
that was
danger.
the conventional wisdom.
let's just kill some kids.
Yeah.
So, which of you is not coming back for season 3?
No one is safe. No one is safe.
No. Not even
Russian
children.
roulette, but with a script.
Well, I guess we're not
wow.
we're not
Dark. I'm so
certain
sorry.
100% that 11's coming back, but you're here tonight. So,
This season? Oh, they announced that she was.
okay.
Yeah, she's back.
All right. Good. Yeah. Because what would it be like without 11? Well,
I don't know.
will 11 have more
the
words
original
this year?
pitch though was when we first. It was not originally intended as a multiple series, and it was that 11 was going to sacrifice herself. Obviously, I'm just.
I actually never knew that. So
Oh,
that's
well,
really great to
you
know.
learn
Thank
something new
guys
every day,
so
Mel.
much.
Yeah.
It's been really great working with you.
But that makes sense from the movie point of view, and so as the sort of ET character. But yeah, no, she is a good journey this season.
What was it like shooting season 2? Because now you guys were like a known quantity. Was it any different out and about?
Security was
Yeah,
definitely
security.
more.
Because I mean,
Well, we
people
literally
try to see
consulted
that.
with like the Game of Thrones producers to learn about their security protocols, because suddenly if we threw out our script at the end of the day, someone might go dumpster diving and leak a spoiler on the internet. So
Let's just no. What basically happened was we weren't allowed to say a thing, and we're still not. And we had to like throw away our sides every second. We had like, I mean, it was top secret. Like, I mean, before, like when the show, when I wasn't announced I was coming back, I had to wear like cloaks going on set. Cloaks. And when I was going through Atlanta airport, cloaks. Is that not a normal word?
it just sounds good when you
It just sounds good when you say
just
it.
sounds good when you
Thanks,
say
guys.
it.
Invisibility
Cloaks.
cloak.
Just keep saying cloaks.
Okay, okay. Coats.
So-
Basically, yeah. And then going through Atlanta airport, like I'd wear wigs, and like it was just, I don't know, it was just like so weird. And then when I finally got announced, I was like, like a ton of. But I also find that we're still the same show filming in Atlanta. I feel like
Same crew.
and I feel like somewhat, I mean, we're all still very grounded, and I feel like obviously it's had a massive impact on our lives and on the show, but it's not changed anything. I think we're all the same people, and we love hanging out
Bonding
with each
wise,
other
yeah,
and-
I guess we're.
I mean, on the opposite side of the spoiler thing, I do think there's an interesting wave in terms of protectiveness of our show where, like, people, you think people are going to dumpster dive and stuff. And I've actually experienced the opposite, where people come up to me and they're like, they really want to preserve the purity of the experience. And I think more so maybe for this show than other shows, where people are like, don't tell me, I don't want to know. I really don't want to know. And even like I got trolled on Instagram by like some dude who, some dude, yeah, who pretended to be, we had a director for for episode 7, a woman, Rebecca, who came in and directed this episode. And somebody on Instagram pretended to be her and reached out to me, and like I didn't know her all that well, and she started talking to me about the episode, and I was like, oh yeah, like, how'd the last week go, and like, was everything okay, and like blah blah blah, it was really nice working with you. And then like literally I got an onslaught of messages from other fans going like, this guy is not that director, stop talking to her, we don't want to know. And then the dude himself was like, I'm really sorry, man. I'm sorry. I just did a bad thing. I wanted to get something out of you. I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't tell you anything, man. And he was like, yeah, I'm glad you didn't too. Like, so people have surprisingly
What a sweet
mixed
guy.
feelings. Like, they kind of want to reach in, but they also kind of want to be protective of their experience of the show. So I don't know if the leak thing is that, if people are that. I actually think it's more of a hype thing, the leak fear, no? Maybe I just don't like
I
burning.
had no idea
trust.
that happened though. That's amazing. That's
You
like
had a little
so
Instagram
funny.
date with an Instagram troll.
Didn't you get that email?
Yeah, and then I went on a date
Oh,
with
I
him,
got
and
the
it was
longest
great.
email ever.
That was
And
because
then they
of
wanted a
that.
real
was because
date
of
with
him?
him.
Yeah, not because of him, but because of the troll.
Because of the troll. Oh.
Oh, but I didn't say anything.
It's called fishing.
Well, anyway, it got out,
Like,
but the
we
troll
all
had a
came-
conscience, had a crisis of conscience, and it all worked out.
What a sweet Rebecca Thomas imposter that guy was. What a
We all came
sweet
into
man.
school that day and we was all like, did you get the email?
Oh wow, I didn't know that was from
missed
the
out.
email.
And then everybody
It
was
was a
like,
big deal, Dave. It was a huge deal.
it was a long
involved
email.
me.
They were acting like he was like the military. They were like, "There's a mole on set." Like I was
Oh,
like,
yeah!
"It's not like World War I." Like
I
There's
think
a
there
leak.
was a mole. in it.
Yeah, he did know some stuff. I was like impressed.
It was a big deal.
Moving on.
Because you're preserving this purity. I mean, it does lead itself to kind of some fans like, coming up with their own interesting ideas. What are they doing? What is this about? What is this? What is some of the more interesting fan theories about the show that you've heard?
there are some that are like really far fetched, but then there are also some that are like, like cool, but also like really close. Which is
No,
like,
some are
Let's
right.
not say which.
Yes,
yeah, no,
some
no,
are
I'm not
right.
going to.
No,
but
no,
there's a lot-
Talk about the crazy
No,
ones.
there's a lot that are like very close, but like some are right, but like
Yeah.
you know.
And
No, but people like will write like the entire, like their own entire season.
I love it. I
It's
think
awesome.
it's so entertaining.
So fun reading
I
coolest
wish
thing on
they
the
kind of like made their own show on what they think the show this season is about.
It's usually
And
like
some
13
people think
reasons
that like
why
Will
and
is
Stranger
pregnant
Things
with the
cross.
monster. I heard like this theory where like Will was pregnant with the monster and Will was actually the monster inside, and it was like a really crazy theory. Yeah, it was amazing.
Is that the words they use?
Yeah, pregnant.
That's the weirdest
pregnant.
part of all that.
Question: how would they give birth to this baby little
Is
Demogorgon?
this alien or something?
Wait, I have the best fan theory ever because like there was when we've been shooting since November, right? And so the this was amazing when the Super Bowl trailer dropped, and it announces at the end, it announces Halloween, right? So it announces that our show is airing in Halloween, and there was a very convoluted, like 8-page theory on Twitter about how that was all a ruse, and Netflix was going to drop it in March.
I saw
I
that.
was like,
God,
that's
it's so
amazing,
good.
dude. Like, I
that.
wish that was true, but I guarantee we're not even done shooting. But he went through all kinds of numerology and all sorts of images and symbols in the thing, which was like the opposite of October is March in the calendar. So it will be coming out in
We're
March.
not even that smart.
I
Like,
was
how would we put that
"You're awesome.
together?
You can't wait for Stranger Things. That you've come up with a fan theory that we're lying to you about when it's going to be released.
Like, we're not that smart to put it together. Like,
I saw one that was similar to that, but it was like, it's coming out on Halloween. Someone had said, well, on this calendar, Halloween is in July. What are the Duffers thinking now?
I also think interviewers, they they kind of like they state things, and you kind of have to like you have to just say no. So, the other day that somebody was like, so the show's coming out October 31st. I was like, oh, it is? Oh, I didn't know that. Can you tell me more? And it was like,
more.
so I was like, show me, where'd you get that? And there was like, they showed the article, and I was like, who's that? And there was like, just Jared. I was like, okay. Okay,
Now I believe
So
you.
is that from Netflix? I'm confused.
Do they have? I mean, Hopper seems to be a character that could really come up with some interesting flights of fancy because that last, yeah. I mean,
No,
what
he's
was
too
he was
drunk,
getting?
man.
He was getting into the car there at the end.
Oh,
A lot of people ask about that. The car at the
about
end.
that, aren't we? God, I hope we pay that off.
He obviously knows about 11 because he's leaving the Yegos,
That's true. That's true.
And
there is, like, I mean, the interesting thing about this season is we get to have a year in between the two seasons, right? So we have a year of things that have happened, and we get to flash back and sort of explore what's happened in that year. But certainly when we start this season, like, Hopper's got a lot to deal with in terms of the stress of, like, only really the kids and, like, not even Mike's parents know about the Upside Down, right? Like,
no, they
think that
Ted
Mike's
is
parents
clueless.
like Ted has, but even your mom doesn't.
Ted
know,
is like
right?
Russians. That's it.
Right, but like nobody knows
Well, no,
really
'cause
about what
they're-
happened. So sort of Hopper's under a lot of stress to like figure out how to deal with this situation, and then as evidenced by the egos and the thing, he has some sort of understanding about this 11 reemergence situation, which we'll get into as well. So he goes through a lot more complicated stuff this year, and it's interesting. I mean, just on a personal note, it's just interesting because the arc was so satisfying in season 1, like to be able to play this guy who was kind of a jerk and like had a shtick and was like, bleh, and like, drank and smoked and didn't care at all. And then to be able to see that onion peel back and to see why that didn't care and to actually have him become the hero that we want him to be. And for that to be so emotionally satisfying, it's like, where do you go from there? Like, you've kind of completed this character. And so I was scared going in. I was like, where do we go from here? Because I'm not going to just show up and say coffee and contemplation, like, sort of do the same thing. And I was really pleased upon reading the first scripts that I do feel like the arcs are very different and as sophisticated as they were last year and as subtle, but they're very different. We take the characters and we really are taking those risks that I have said in interviews might piss some people off. But I do feel like
People like that quote of yours.
well, I know they love that quote. They're always like, Harbor says it'll piss people off. It's like, no, what I mean is that, like, you fall in love with these people and you want them to just do their thing because they're adorable, and you just want Hopper to just say coffee, you got a place, and be heroic. And then what the Duffers have skillfully done is really been like, okay, we love these guys too, but we're not going to let them just be cardboard cutouts. Like, we're going to allow them to actually develop. And in fact, even to the point of like, you know, simple things that in TV, like when you show up on Gilligan's Island, Gilligan always looks like Gilligan in the same shirt, right? Whereas this season, like, Hopper's got a full beard. Hopper, like, you know, facial hair changes, styles change, things like that. Human beings grow and they develop. And I think that we're taking those risks that could piss some people off because they have attachment to these characters. And in a way, I think it's very brave and very satisfying when you see a human being go through that journey.
But can I piggyback on that? Because I think so much gets written about and talked about Stranger Things as far as the 80s reference and the darkness and the mystery and all of that. But I think kind of the real genius of the brothers is that they haven't lost sight of the fact that at the end of the day, we root for these characters. And all the rest of it is the vehicle, but the heart is these people. Yeah. And season 2 services that above all else.
Yes, Sean!
Yeah, I was watching, you know, I watched the season again, and that last episode, I mean, the scene that just killed me was that scene between Eleven and Mike where they're talking about belonging, and he asks her to the dance, and he says, well, you can come live with us and my mom will make up a bed for you, and she's learning about friendship and the difference between a sister and somebody you take to the snowflake dance.
Yeah,
It's
and
just-
then he's like, well, I don't like you
well,
like
and
that.
then, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There was a kiss too, yes.
Yeah,
It was.
You're anxious to talk about that, okay?
no, well, I know it's coming. Every interview I know it's coming, so I just wanted to get it. So
I said nothing. I was
Wow.
talking about the
no,
emotional
I know,
beats of
no.
it.
So I just wanted to add on to that because like, there's also that. What's super cool about that scene is it just like, you know, you think it's going up, you know, like, oh, he's like, he really loves her like as a sister, and then it just like slowly declines into like, no, she doesn't get it. Like, Mike is like totally trying to make a move right now, and then like it slowly goes down until he's just like, oh,
It
whatever,
was just
I'll
so.
screw it.
It's like it's
Beautifully
such a
awkward.
great,
It's
a great scene.
a really
I think
good
it
scene.
was like a moment for 11 when like, whoa.
It's perfect
This is-
scene structure
This
too.
is a
It's, like,
boy.
perfect, like,
Likes me.
yeah.
It's kind of
Thanks,
yeah.
dude.
It was a very great scene, and it was, you know, very entertaining for the Duffer Brothers, especially to see me kiss someone, which was very, very disturbing. But they just kept sending me,
Okay,
like,
okay, time out.
Go
It
ahead.
was okay.
Now I'm
first
having
of all,
fun.
no. It was funny because that day Finn brought in like 10 packs of Tic Tacs. Hey, Millie, you want some? He
Good actor. Good actor.
had like lip balm and
Considerate.
everything. And then me and Gaten were like, ooh, kiss.
Ew, kiss
And then they
them.
were laughing at us, so don't make it seem that way.
No,
Millie.
well, yeah,
God.
I
Pushing
mean,
it really
everybody
hard,
like
yeah.
had to like, you know, be listen. The Tic Tacs were handy.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it juvenile
Very
over here.
respectful, very adult of you. I'm
Yes,
proud of
good
you.
job,
Proud of you.
Finn.
Just looking out for
Good
my
job.
fellow actors. So looking out for them.
All right, so Halloween. Are you guys getting any pushback from costume makers and Halloween supply people? I mean, you're taking Halloween. People are not going out for Halloween this year. They're going to be watching Stranger
I
Things.
think they can. They can binge on, you know, their candy and binge on the
Yeah,
show.
go out early.
Yeah,
and
because that's
yeah.
what I would do. I mean, I would, you know, watch. It's so fun to watch something scary when you come home. So I don't think we're ruining Halloween or anything.
No.
We are.
We're like making Halloween. It's perfect.
Proving Halloween. All right. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
so
tonight.
much.
Thank you.
It's been great.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in Hawkins.